Welcome back to the show, everybody. Let's just take a look at the numbers while we talk about this. Will the price turn around? And the International Organization of Securities Commissions. And we're going to hear from not only that organization, and we're also going to hear from Hester Peirce today, who gives us a very, very big clue on exactly what Gary Gensler is waiting on. Yeah, I think you're going to want to know about this. Let's roll this beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. Let's go ahead and get into this. Kava Labs, the numbers are brought to you by Kava Labs. A governance proposal has been made to add 10,000 Kava per week in rewards for supplying USDX to Hard Protocol. If you have Kava staked to a validator, you can view the governance proposal with the link below and cast your vote. Now listen, this is really about having a truly decentralized platform. And if you hold Kava, you hold the power to participate in that process. So make sure you absolutely follow up on that. Not taking the opportunity to exercise your ability to vote does impact the platform itself. So if you hold Kava, make sure you participate in this upcoming proposal for sure. Now let's go ahead and get to the numbers this morning. 1.8 trillion. What's going on? The entire cryptocurrency market is in a bloodbath, currently falling like a manhole cover from the sky. It is 9.49% down today. And look, if anything, we all go down together, right? If anything, we've got a lot of company, okay? This boat is not empty. Bitcoin now at 49,008, Ethereum at 2,200, actually holding a bit of its value this morning, and XRP, courtesy of the dereliction of duty and intimidation tactics by the SEC, is at $1.14. We're off 11.38% on the 24-hour, and listen to this, 31.48% on the 7-day. Ouch. Now, let's just quickly take a look at the range on this because we went and dipped as low as $1.03. Say it isn't so. And all the way up to $1.41. But we talked about this yesterday, and I want to highlight the important people that I feel are chart experts, and they give us incredible analysis. And shout out to Billy and Martin from Crypto Wizards, have a paid group here. XRP Daily Technical says XRP and XRP BTC closed bullish as we got a bearish Bitcoin from a fundamental event. However, this dip will allow us to buy more XRP, he says. We should get a very quick reversal from this zone in XRP to BTC should lead XRP from now on. Now, as we say, this is not financial advice from anyone on the channel or myself, so make sure you be aware of that. And this is Dark Defender, who also said, hi there. XRP followed exactly the same pattern we discussed yesterday, which it did. Jumped towards $1.40 and then hard retrace back to $1 area. And what's the last thing we mentioned below? Take a look at it, because if you look at it, this was from April 22nd yesterday. Can we jump towards $1.40 and retrace back to $1 area followed by a huge move towards the all-time high, or can accumulate in this area slowly and again all-time high plus? All roads to an all-time high. We have less time. Targets are clear. This gives me confidence. And listen, I'm not saying that they're always right or anything of that nature, but they have been of lately. And what I like to do, as you know by now, is I like to take a couple, if not more, of these charting experts and their analysis and see how they align. And they have been aligning. And that, to me, is a pretty impressive thing to see. Again, not financial advice, but it brings me some comfort to know that yesterday we even looked at CoinKids, if you remember, here, and we showed you that it could pull back as far as the 115 to 92 cent range from CoinKid. And to me, this is something we talked about yesterday. So truthfully, even that he said $1.15 to 92 cent, and I'm looking right here at $1.14 XRP. That brings me a lot of confidence in their skills and their ability to see these charts and understand what may be possible, right? So really appreciate all of them for that insight. Now let's go ahead and look at this because somebody's feeling bullish about something. This is from the one and only Michael Val 5 Links. Whale Alert has reported that in the past 20 hours, an astounding 190.7 million XRP tokens have been shifted by fintech giant Ripple and leading global digital currency exchanges. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot, and underneath of a SEC lawsuit, wow, pretty remarkable stuff going on here. Now, Charles Schwab, if you ever wanted any evidence, regardless of what the market's doing, Charles Schwab, this is what we call fundamental news, now shifting from the technicals from the charts, right? Charles Schwab says we will launch cryptocurrency services to its multi-million user base if the U.S. establishes clear regulations. Watch out, it's coming, and they don't want to miss it. It's just more evidence. This is CoinShares. We talked about them yesterday, and they had a recent report that came out that said institutional investors and buying has skyrocketed, which has led to this. Europe's largest digital asset investment firm launched this month the CoinShares physical XRP ledger and exchange traded product, according to the company's announcement. To me, this is massive news because all of this is happening with the institutional involvement skyrocketing in the XRP because they're not deterred at this point by the SEC lawsuit itself. Now, let's take a look at this because Michael Val 5 Link says whining isn't a good look, and he's right. The SEC has accused Ripple of harassment, alleging that it has requested more documents than legally necessary. This marks the latest development in a case over XRP's regulatory status. What's next? Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. Stop touching my face. He's touching my face. I'm not touching your face. What is going on? Right? My goodness, this is a mess. Really, this is a mess. I can only hope that not long from now, like 5 minutes ago, Gary Gensler will come out and show some leadership from the SEC here and really grab the steering wheel and get it out of the ditch. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, let's take a listen to this because I think this leans into where maybe Mr. Gensler has been spending his time since he's gotten the chair. Let's go ahead and listen to this from Hester Peirce here.
He hasn't even been there a week, and yet he has, at least under this new leadership, he has said that the SEC, or he has indicated the SEC should go forward with its lawsuit against XRP Ripple, saying it is not a currency, it's more of a security, and they cannot be operating as a currency. That does not bode well for XRP holders, does it?
Well, I can't speak to specific enforcement actions, but what I can say is it's quite unusual to see enforcement actions that are in process change when a new chairman comes on the scene.
That right there is the we're still suing Ripple.
So once an enforcement action is authorized, it tends to proceed normally.
Yeah, good idea or bad. This lawsuit goes until the judge says it's over.
But will you argue for letting XRP live as a currency from your standpoint?
Well, again, I can't speak to a case that's in litigation now, which we do have a litigation with.
Commissioner Peirce, thank you for being here. Let me just start with a blunt question. Will the Gensler-run SEC be wielding a scalpel or a machete when it comes to regulation of the crypto space?
Well, it is early days still. Chairman Gensler hasn't been in the spot for too many days now. But I think one thing we can expect is that because he is someone who's built a regulatory framework in the past where none existed, and there's definitely a call for a regulatory framework here, I think we can expect that he'll be open to the idea of building something, and I'm hoping to work with him on something.
Hester, thanks
Charlie?
for joining us. I'm only kidding about the crypto man part on mine. I barely knew what a cryptocurrency was until a couple of weeks ago. But
wait till you hear this exchange.
To be frank, I know a lot of major hedge fund guys that are in this deep. They're worried about regulation, and they keep hearing that it's not necessarily going to start with the SEC, but it's going to start with Treasury. And as a matter of fact, when we asked Jen Psaki, the President Biden's press secretary, about crypto regulation, he pointed us to the Treasury Department. So clearly something is happening from Treasury. Is that your understanding, that it's Treasury that's going to give you guys the rules of the road going forward?
Well, I should say that I speak for myself.
All of a sudden, she's like, look, I'm not speaking for the SEC. Oh, that's straight fire, ladies and gentlemen. Could it be that Gary Gensler is awaiting the Treasury and how they want to move forward? Because the difference here that we're talking about is the difference between a market regulator and a prudential regulator. The prudential regulator looks at the macro, and the market regulator usually deals with the micro, ground level, right? So when we look here, this is why I have for over 2 years been pointing out the U.S. Treasury and the ability of the Dodd-Frank Act and the regulatory agencies connected to the Treasury being the Financial Stability Oversight Council, known as FSOC. And I'm going to read you this right now. The Dodd-Frank Act authorizes the council to designate a financial market utility as systemically important if the council determines that the failure or of a disruption to the functioning of a financial market utility could create or increase the risk of significant liquidity or credit problems spreading among financial institutions or markets, and thereby threaten the stability of the United States financial system. Designated financial market utilities will become subject to the heightened prudential and supervisory provisions of Title VIII, which promote robust risk management and safety and soundness, including conducting their operations in compliance with applicable risk management standards, providing advance notice and review of changes to their rules, procedures, and operations that could materially affect the nature or level of their risk, and being subject to relevant examination and enforcement provisions. Come on in. I want you to think now about RippleNet and its compliance and governance that built into that. And the real example of MoneyGram and other customers around the world using on-demand liquidity through RippleNet and their partners, which this becomes a very, very, in my eyes, very, very systemically important financial market infrastructure. You know, this has also been given this systemically important designation to clearinghouses that do settlement of derivatives back end, which I believe XRP will absolutely be a part of, or the depository trust as well, or ICE Clear Credit, right? Some of these, CLS Bank International. These are a list of some of these entities that have gotten the systemically important designation. Interestingly enough, XRP is designed to work in tandem with these organizations. When I look at the idea that Ripple Online 82 also undertook to achieve its goal of widespread distribution of XRP by exchanging it for non-cash considerations such as labor and market-making services, it is the admission that the SEC understands that Ripple had achieved widespread adoption through pre-allocation. In fact, I personally believe that this case is based on the sales of the XRP directly from Ripple to its customers, because I believe in large part they offered option contracts of that pre-allocated XRP at a certain price for the agreement that they would update their systems from their end to be able to plug into the market infrastructure that Ripple has promised to provide from them on their end. And then in turn, that agreement would follow that at whatever price you would probably get the XRP, you're agreeing to bring a certain amount, if not all of your volume, onto this new payment network. If you do this through across many different areas of industries, payment providers, remittances, sophisticated financial institutions, small, medium enterprises, and central banks, we have widespread adoption. And if everyone agrees to bring their volume onto the XRP ledger, then what does it mean? It means that this could become systemically important. And maybe that's why Gary Gensler is waiting for the U.S. Treasury. We're speculating. We are speculating. But I want to remind you of this because this isn't the only regulatory agency connected to the Treasury. This is back from the previous administration, February 12th of 2020, right? And the previous administration introduced regulations for cryptocurrency that are intended to crack down on the using of facilitating money laundering and other illicit activities, according to the previous Treasury Secretary. The current Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, aligns much with the previous one in her thoughts about illicit activity and such, and I think that's not a bad idea either. However, I read this to you. After playing down the risk of cryptocurrencies at the beginning of the previous administration, Mr. Mnuchin had said over the summer that they pose a national security threat. He also said that he had very serious concerns about the Libra coin, which has now been changed to Diem because it was so poorly launched. The previous president had also expressed skepticism about cryptocurrencies, declaring last year that he was not a fan and that their value is volatile and based on thin air. He warned at the time Facebook must seek a banking charter and follow all banking regulations if it wanted to be a digital currency business. I go on to tell you this, as a part of his efforts to more closely police the cryptocurrencies, the former treasurer had been pushing to relocate the Secret Service back to the Treasury Department. And that is something to note because the Secret Service, are working together. Secret Service are working together to monitor the use of cryptocurrencies, which it cited in an emerging threat. That's where things are on this day. And when we look here, this is from the International Organization of Securities Commission. Okay? The International Organization of Securities Commissions. They do a lot of recommendations, guidelines, right? Because it's an international consortium, basically. And they go over these things. And one thing you have to ask yourself when it comes to systemically important designations and the difference between a market regulator and a prudential regulator, for which the U.S. Treasury and FSOC are prudential regulators. They sit above the SEC. They sit above the CFTC. You have to ask yourself, is the policy or wrong or inappropriate with changing markets and times? Isn't that where we are? Everything moving digital, being tokenized, going carbon neutral, the green movement? Are the products defective legally, or do they carry risks that are not appropriate for the retail market? Uh-oh. Does that mean that they may be considering you and I not being able to get it anymore? Does the prudential framework show signs of age and require reform? I believe this is the moment we are in that is being cited by the International Organization of Securities Commissions. When looking at things like this, you have to ask yourself, they go further, and they say, in thinking through financial markets, one needs to understand that a financial market comprises of 5 Ps. A financial market comprises of people, buyers, sellers, and intermediaries, transacting in products, property rights, and derivatives under a policy framework, which we really don't have, and a prudential regulatory regime, which could in fact be and should be the U.S. Treasury. And facilitated by an infrastructure platform, and facilitated, I'm going to say it again, and facilitated by an infrastructure platform and process, such as the trading, clearing, and settlement and payments network, which can be paper-based or scriptless. I take you back to this. This is the systemically important designation. And we are moving paperless. We're all going digital, right? So this is important to me. And when you see the ground level movement by Ripple, what is it? Achieving sustainability in cryptocurrency. Ripple commits to the Crypto Climate Accord initiative to make cryptocurrency industry 100% renewable. I think this is a very worthy goal. You see even further here, a reminder from the one and only XRP crypto wolf. The XRP ledger has been using federated consensus to validate transactions and secure its public ledger for 9 years. It closed 62 million plus ledgers without downtime, uses the energy equivalent of just 50 U.S. homes per year, and is already carbon neutral. And isn't that the goal? Because this is the goal. Ripple is piloting a private ledger for central banks so they can launch their digital dollars. That's where we're at this morning. This is getting more exciting by the day. I have to tell you, this is really the most interesting thing I have ever followed in my life, and I feel like we're closer than ever to getting a big reveal from the U.S. Treasury and other market regulators out here. But first, that prudential regulator at some point before this is over is going to have to come out and speak on this, because it ain't money unless the world agrees it's money. Before I get out of here, I want to remind you that it is NFT premium domains. They are doing the finance category, and there will be another category coming out next week, which is remarkable. And guess what? Moon.crypto is going to be one of them. Yeah, there's a lot still available here. Make sure you check them out. Loans, banks, Fire, Yield, Bill Crypto, Borrow Crypto, Dollars Crypto still available. How is that possible? Right? It's unbelievable. Markets.crypto, portfolio. There is a lot of great stuff that's here. I mean, there's been a lot of people buying, but I tell you what, there's a lot of great stuff that's still in here. Make sure you guys check it out, and check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. They are trusted, vetted links. And by the way, if you have not hit the like and subscribe yet, please do. We are very close to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I will catch all of you on the next one.